Carbon School District teachers, this is Stephanie Thomas, the digital learning teacher, here to teach you about Google Meet and some updates that we now have available to us. So, this will really be helpful if we ever have to do virtual learning again, but I just want to show you some of the wonderful things that they've added. It's kind of, if you've ever used Zoom and have the paid version of that, they've kind of emulated that on Google Meet so that you can do breakout rooms with your students, you can do question and answer with your students, and you can also poll them. So I'm going to just show you, if you go to meet.google.com, or if you are here at Google and here you can click and find your Meet, which is here, or if you're like me and you would prefer to do it from your Google Meet from your classroom, so then you just click here and go to your Meet link. Okay, so then it says we'll be able to join. I'm going to turn off my audio and my visual just because I don't need it right now, but we are going to join my Meet. Okay, so now that we are in our Meet, you can see here I have my little, basically just the nickname, and that can only be used within Carbon School District. You have all the stuff like you did before. Right now there are no attachments on here, but in a minute I'm going to show you why you might want to use those. The host controls you can see from here. You can let everyone share their screen, no one share their screen, and then everyone send their chat messages or no one. So I always recommend keeping this quick access on so that nobody else can get into your Meet. And then these I would actually turn off unless for some reason you really need students to chat with you or each other and share their screen. Okay, so these buttons should all look familiar. These are your video, your audio, and your hang up. If you ever need to get into the settings of which camera you're using, you can go back here. It has the audio, the video, and the host controls. Okay, and then you also have your captions if you would like to turn those on. And if I do that, it says my captions have been turned on. Since it's not listening to my audio, it's not going to do my closed captioning, but it will. And then this is obviously, I'm just doing a review of things you probably already know. You can show your entire screen, you can show a window or a Chrome tab when you're presenting to your students as they're on Google Meet. Now, these two buttons should be familiar to you. You can look at all of your students. When you have students in here, they will come up and be underneath you. If you would like to change that, if you want to pin yourself to the screen, you can pin yourself to the screen and you'll only see you. If you do not want to do that, you can also put yourself in a tile layout, so then it'll show up as a tile on your screen. And you can always obviously add people from here, and your host controls are here as well. So you can, instead of going to your privacy, you can always come here and decide when you want your students to share their screen or send chat messages. Okay. And then as all your students show up here, like I said, if you want to change what they look like, you can always go to the change layout button as well on your settings. So you can make it auto, you can have them in the sidebar, you can have tiled so that when you can change the amount of tiles you see, so you can have 30 tiles, so you can see all of your students at once in front of you. And again, that's in the settings button. Okay, and then, like I said, you can always change it from here as well. You should know the chat. You can send messages to people in your Google Meet. You can say hi and welcome if you want to chat anything. Or I recommend a lot of the time is putting links in there or other things that they might need to reference or look at. So you can do that, and then you can let everybody send a message. But the cool thing you don't need to have them do is if they have a question now, instead of having them go to the messages, there's a triangle, a square, and a circle. Okay, and so we have 3 new options. So I'm going to go down from the bottom up, and we'll talk about what, there we go. Then I can let them ask a question. So if I turn on question and answer, it says ask a question, Q&A is now open. On their end, they're going to see this Q&A chat box. They might have to click the little triangle, circle, and square on their box as well, but they are going to click ask a question, and then they might say, what did you do this weekend, or whatever they want to ask you. And then you're going to post that question, and then you have options as the teacher. You can delete that question. You can mark as hidden so that nobody else can see it, just you. You can like that question if somebody posts it. And you can also mark it as answered. So if I see this pop up in my question and answer box, I'm going to say, oh, thank you so much, Stephanie, for asking me what I did this weekend. I blah, 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 and then I can mark it as answered. If I want other students to see what that student, so I can go like that, mark as unhidden. So it's not hidden from anyone, that's what that means. And when I go like this, then that question is hidden from the rest of the meal. Okay, and then you can sort your questions by answered, unanswered, hidden, or all of these things. So again, you can teach your students how to use that question and answer box. It's very helpful as you are teaching, and they can be asking questions as they arise. Okay, now we have our polls box. So it says find out what others think about something. So you click start a poll, you ask the question, you say, what's the best ice cream? And then you have vanilla and chocolate and whatever else you decide to put. And then you can save this so it can be already created in your Meet before your kids come in. You can create another poll. So again, it's really cool because then I can ask what did you learn? Did you learn something new today? And then you can have yes or no. Okay, so again, all these things, you can save that, and then you can always create another one. And then as you're polling students, what they see when you click launch, they're gonna get this question up on their screen when you are meeting. And then they're gonna click their vote, they're gonna say vanilla or chocolate, and then it's gonna come in and it's gonna start counting votes. And then you can show everyone the results, and then you can not show everyone the results. And then you can always end the poll when you don't want any more people to and again, once you're done, you can still show them or not. And you can't go back. So you'd have to do a new question if somebody didn't get into that one. Once you click end, then that poll's done and you have to have another one. The other cool thing about that is once you've done a question or a question and answer or a poll, when you go into your Gmail after you do your invite and it's up, so sorry, not your invite, your Google Meet, and it's hung up. So then you're going to get an email from Google, and it's going to have info from your meeting, and you have your questions, and you have your polling results, and you can open those and track. So you actually have all that info stored once you use it in Google Meet. Okay, and then last but not least, you can always, this is a new thing, is that you can put students in breakout rooms. So let's say I want students to discuss something or work on a project together while they're at home, and they need to be in groups of 6, and I have 4 groups of 6 for my class. And then as they're in the main call, all their names will pop up here, and then you can take them wherever you want and drag them. So let's say we have 4 rooms and I want Stephanie in room 1, and then I'm going to drag all my other students where they need to go. So you decide which rooms they go in. You can shuffle it if you want it to be random. You can clear the rooms as well, so then they just go back to the main call. And then these you can always exit and do manually. You can change the names of the breakout rooms, all those things. Okay, and then as soon as you click open rooms, so you might say to your students, you're going to work now in groups for 15 minutes, these are your objectives, blah, blah, and then you're going to open the rooms. They're going to get a message that pops up on their window, and it says, you're being taken to this room. So it has breakout room in session. I can join any of my sessions, so if I want to chat with any of my, if I want to see what's going on in those rooms, then I can join them. If I click join, it's going to take me into breakout room number 1. Okay, so now I'm in breakout room number 1, and I can talk to all the people that are in here, and then I can leave that. I can join the next one, see how they're doing. Okay, and then you can always edit the rooms if you needed to from here, and then we can save that, so you can move kids from rooms, and then it'll give them a message and say you're being moved to this room, and then they'll have to click it to join that room. Okay, and then I'm going to close the rooms, and then at the end it says, so I'm going to close all the rooms now. They're going to get a message that say breakout rooms have ended, and they need to click this to return to the main call. So then they are returned to the main call. So once you are returned to the main call, then you can continue your meeting. The only other cool thing that I wanted to show you before Our time is up here. There is a whiteboard. So it says open a jam. So all these other things are our settings, which should be familiar to you. You can record your meeting from here. But when it says whiteboard, open a jam. So we can either start a new whiteboard or I can choose from Drive. So if I create a new whiteboard, it's going to create the jam. And that is going to open in a new window. And you can see that it has the name of my Google Meet. And I can always rename it, so I can say, you know, October 27th. Then I can say, what did you learn? So you can create these beforehand, or you can just create them on hand as well. So like I said, you could pick one from your Drive, or you can have it here. The beautiful thing about doing a Jamboard within Meet is, let's say I wanted to ask my students, what did they learn today? So you say, add a sticky note and tell us what you learned. And they can say, I learned that I can use the poll option on Google Meet. Okay, and then they can save that. It'll go onto the board. And they're all working on one board. So as students go ahead and type in their sticky note, then they're all going to pop up. You just have to teach them a little bit how to use their Jamboard, but it's really cool because let's say you're asking a question, you want everybody's answer up on the board like you would in class. That is all right here, and they're looking at that board. Now you will have to teach them, this will be in a separate window, but they'll have their Meet here, and then they'll have their board that they can collaborate on here. And then as soon as they're done writing what they want to on the board, they can minimize it, they can do whatever they need to do with it, or exit out of it, and then you can always, and what's cool is it shows up in here. So in the attachments, I can see the board, and I can always present that board to my students once, but they'll see the answers popping up as well. So that's what it means when it's collaborative. So if anybody else is typing on here, they're all going to be on that same board. So it's pretty amazing. Now, and that board will be saved in your Google Drive. And the final thing, if you have any questions on how to use any of these updates on Google Meet, please don't hesitate to set up a meeting with me. All you have to do is email me, or you can also go to the Digital Learning Hub website, and you can find that on carbonschools.org. You just go to the menu and find Digital Learning Hub. So, and that is down in the departments. So again, you can go to Digital Learning Hub, or if you would like, you can also email me at stomas@carbonschools.org. So if you have any questions, again, please don't hesitate to ask. Thanks for listening, and hope you have a great rest of your day.